She's crazy.
Well, they can now. I haven't shared the screen. Who's Mr. I didn't want to lie.
She got off me so quick. That is too funny. And she cute. She best got pointed.
Right.
I know, right? She is cute. And she don't even want to be on the screen today.
They know my name.
That's Sabrina Lopez. Look at the, what did she say? Maybe we should
hold
try
up, y'all. Hold up.
They can hear you?
I don't know. I keep stopping screen because I don't know what's happening.
Why don't you mute
Y'all
it?
keep talking.
You can't mute
I
it?
did, but you know, I did.
She's scared.
Yeah.
Well, say good morning and see if somebody replied to you.
Okay, okay.
All right, I put it on mute.
Gabby, this is an off-topic thing, but my Canvas is not working.
Why is that?
They can't see the assignments.
Did you publish the assignments?
Yes, everything is published. The modules are published.
You published the course?
Yep.
And all the assignments in the module? You know, you got to publish each assignment separate.
Yeah, but even if they are not doing like, okay, I think the quizzes are not published, but they're not taking the quizzes. I just want them to do the first assignment.
Who's Mr. Ware?
Working.
He must be with the government. So remember, Sharon Oliver is, she's the executive director. She took the other to Adrian Congo's place. So she works for the Maryland. She works for Maryland. She's not a therapist. He probably does too. Are they talking yet? We can't hear them. When you share it at the bottom, it says share audio.
It's published. I don't understand.
For a moment and take some nice slow. And with those inhales, just bring in some relaxation and let go of all of the things that are happening outside of this meeting, outside of this space.
Make me laugh. Kelly, take me off the thing, please.
And take another deep breath and bring yourself back to the meeting. Thank you. And everyone, please double check that you're muted. So today,
I need you to show your face.
Just some initial housekeeping things. There will be no questions that will be taken during this meeting. If you have questions as a result of the meeting or something that was said in the meeting, please email me or Sharon Oliver, the executive director. And as a reminder, the board allows RMPs and LMTs to receive CEs for attending to the meeting. So for each meeting that you attend, you receive 1 hour of continuing education towards your ethics requirement. So we've got several meetings before renewal. So you could attend 3 meetings and get your CEUs for ethics through that. If your name appears on either on the computer, then we will know who you are. If it has someone else's name, you need to email Sharon Oliver to let her know that you attended the meeting. So you put your name and your license or registration number. If you are calling on a telephone call, you definitely need to email Sharon to let her know that you attended the call. So that would be your name and your email. I'm sorry, your name and your license or registration number. And Sharon's email address is on our website. So we always start out with the reading of our mission statement. It helps the board to focus in on what we're doing for today. And it also lets everybody that's on the call with us know what our charge is. The mission of the State Board of Massage Therapy Examiners is to regulate the practice of massage therapy, to ensure standards of competency, protect public health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Maryland. So that's why we're here today. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is roll call. So Caitlin Thompson.
Present.
David Cox.
Present.
Kirsten Bodnerchuk.
Present.
Margaret Hayes.
Present.
Gwenda Harrison.
Present.
And Diane Jones-Richard.
Present.
And so those are the board members, and I'm going to check on attendance for the other members who attend the meetings. Our General Counsel, Grant Gerber.
Grant T. Gerber, Assistant Attorney General. I am present.
Of the Executive Director, and I'm present.
Adrian Congo.
Adrian Congo, employee, present.
Pamela Alston.
Pamela Austin, board non-voting member, administrative specialist, present.
Linda Byers, and I guess Linda isn't here yet. Lillian, not yet. And Mark Wares.
Mark Ware, present.
Sorry, I put an S on there. Sorry about that, Mark. Okay, so before we start into the meeting, I just want to take a minute and I'd like to say, I just want to say something. And again, everybody, please check to make sure that you are on mute. So these are challenging times for all of us, and emotions run high. And I want to acknowledge that this for all of our licensees and registrants who have had to be out of work at this time, and all the various challenges and difficulties that come along with that. And now that things are starting to open up, there's a new set of challenges for all of us. This board is a group of volunteers who act as regulators for our profession. And the first responsibility of the board is to protect the public. Our tools to do that are the statutes and the regulations that come from their statutes. And our job is to enforce those laws and regulations. We are a complaint-driven board, which means the board investigates when complaints come in against a licensee or a registrant to determine if that complaint is valid. If it's found to be valid, that complaint, the board will act.
What happened? I was enjoying that.
I don't want to say all this board, but what this board does is to uphold the statutes and regulations that are currently in effect, as well as any executive orders from the governor and directives from the Secretary of Health. Now, and I do want to say we truly appreciate the patience and understanding that the profession has shown during this time of extremes. So just a reminder, there are no questions. There will be no questions taken from the floor. There have been some questions that were presented to us, to either Sharon or myself, and those will be answered at the end of the meeting. So, and a reminder for the board, So when there's a discussion, we'll proceed as we've done in the past 2 months. I will call your name. You'll have 2 minutes to give your input. Once everybody has had an opportunity to offer input, then if anyone has additional input, they will have another minute. And so this gives us an opportunity to really make our responses really succinct. When you're finished, I request that you say, I am complete, so we know that you're done, rather than pausing for a moment and
Somebody's not here.
Gabby, your screen on mute. Gabby.
That put forward the governor that follow telehealth interactions for health practitioners, which includes everyone who's licensed nurses, to a patient that is a basis. So that's, I guess, a summary of where we are. I don't know that immediately we are trying to provide some guidance through regulation. There's going to be, it's on the agenda to be updated as part of the, should we call it the regulatory committee with this board? I don't remember, but advisory committee. It's on a little bit later. That's a summary of where we are. It was a bill, again, that was kind of the inside baseballs that Johns Hopkins hospitals really wanted it for all healthcare practitioners, so they got it, and we were trying to figure out what to do with it. It wasn't something that was done in consultation with all the health occupations boards, but rather the large healthcare chains advocated for it, and we were trying to figure out what its impact is and how to, reasonable limits on it and apply it to the practice challenge. And I don't know, they're highlighted. It's a weird enactment date that was enacted. The changes in the law were enacted on signature. So as of April 3rd, the law was changed. Usually, legislation doesn't go into effect until October. This was emergency, so got it right away, and we're working on it. And that concludes my report on that part. And then the next part is it was to say it nicely with massage for massage therapy and Maryland. There's an order out there that is massage is mentioned. It's mentioned at the beginning of the pandemic orders by the governor as massage parlors, which doesn't track with massage therapy regulation or the laws of Maryland. It is a term that is disfavored and has a connotation associated with licensees or have nothing to do with that. But that's the, we don't draft the orders, governor. Eventually, the long story short is that there was a clarification email categories of licensees that allowed one of our two to resume practice on May 19th. We issued a statement, and our understanding of the clarification that license can return to work in a healthcare setting as of the clarification on May 19th order. And I guess that's my update as far as that goes. I think that most everyone is, there are a lot of permutations and questions the board has tried to address as best as we can. The orders speak for themselves to a certain extent. Many of the specific practitioner questions, we don't provide advice on, as far as what kind of, if you want to try to draft a waiver or something like that, that's a question that I've been asked. Can you, can you have your patient sign a liability waiver related to COVID-19 that completely absolves you of all liability? We don't provide legal advice to individual practitioners on that kind of basis. I know there are other broader questions. I think that the big picture is the understanding is that LMTs can return to practice. There's conditions that were stated in the order and in compliance with the CDC guidelines returning to practice. So I am complete with that part of my report.
Thank you, Grant. Okay, we're moving on to Sharon Oliver, Executive Director.
Good morning, everyone. And I now have Linda Beyer here with me. Linda is our fiscal officer. Thank you. And welcome to everyone. The first item on the agenda